Hello and welcome back to a brand new Player 2 Plays. My name is Paul James. Today we're playing Venba. Thank you very much to Pop Agenda for providing a code to the game and Desire Games for developing it. We are picking up, because I've already done a Player 2 Plays dedicated to this game in the past, where that was the Steam Next Fest game. We're jumping in here, the second chapter, just a little bit further into the game. A couple of little things have changed, but not so deep that I'm just going to completely wreck the entire narrative for people. Just watch the Player 2 Plays in back-to-back succession. Go back and check out the other one, jump straight into this, and you'll be about a third of the way through the game. Thank you very much to Pop Agenda for providing the code. I've gone and played the game. The review is live now on the website, player2.net.au, and I think very highly of it. And look, it's very much the kind of slow narrative adventure. It's not a big, rigorous gameplay experience. But it really, despite the fact that I don't share the cultural background with our South Indian cast here, it really kind of hit me. It really quite resonated a lot. And I think that was in part because it doesn't matter where you're from. We all face the same challenges in different ways. And some of the challenges they face with family and employment and money. There's the fish out of water feeling that they have that, you kind of contend with in different ways. These are all parts of the human experience, and the game really got me with some of those. Now, Cavan here, as we see him in a second, typical kid. You'll see him come tearing through in a moment. There he is. Pavlan's finding it really hard to get a job. And there's little moments of narrative choice, but they're very, very mild in kind of the Telltale-ish sort of way, where things kind of reconvene back on themselves anyway. And one of the big narrative beats is kind of that connectedness to your background and to your culture. And so the family has moved to Canada, and Cavan has never known his homeland, and the only things he knows of his culture really is through his parents. And so, that's a challenge that the family has to face. See? Kevin wants to be Kevin. And it's kind of that fighting of the Western society and what is, a far whiter society with their background. And it's fascinating to see. And Look, I can't even imagine what it's like for, I mean, here in Australia, we're such a white country in large portions of the country. Certainly as you get closer and closer to the cities, the cultural diversity explodes. But certainly, like, for where I am, for example, there's not a lot of cultural diversity whatsoever. And that's not because the township or the community is not willing. It's that we don't really have just too many people of a different background. And so... things can't. Things are going to take time, and so it's when you do arrive and you're someone from a different background, you do have that fish out of water sort of feeling. All right, here we go. We're getting towards the main mechanic. Speaking Tamil, he wants pizza. The big gameplay mechanic is the cooking. And so we're about to go through a range of different the parenting tricks. And to be fair, we're going to see a rocket of sorts. But anyway, let's get into it. Now I've kind of got the recipe, like the process, kind of etched in my head at this point. So bear with me as I kind of power through this in ways that you shouldn't really. But I'll talk through the systems at play anyway. So we've got all of our different like the things that are necessary to perform create the recipe, realize the recipe. We've also got the recipe book, and the putu flour in this case pretty well intact, but you can see like there's smears and smudges on the page, and so you can't quite read everything. And so then you're trying to extrapolate and think through it a little bit more as to what you might do. If you need to, the triangle button down here, the prompt around, you can get hints. So you can also learn a little bit more about the process. And there's a whole range of other different conversation things, but you can also get a hint. Now, I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to jump into it. And so what we're going to do, and again, we can refer back to it at any given point, but we need the rice, we need the water in here, we put the rice in, and we mix. Oh, actually, what? Oh, I'm an idiot. Let's try that again. Let's blend that. I've got a... There we go, that's better. Here, and then we shake, like, kind of use it over the sieve. And it's just twisting the stick here. And you can see the kind of the little mountain of flour building. But we get little lumps and chunks. And so, with that done, we go and pop them in here, and we mix the blend again. And we keep breaking it down and breaking it down and breaking it down until it's all ready. Back into the sieve. And we'll do it one more time. Oh, I'm going to power through it because I've already done it before. Screws up on the very first step. Right, and then we move on to the next step. And it's cool because we learn a little bit about these meals, and we get a bit of additional cultural understanding for those of us like myself who aren't necessarily familiar. But then of course there's the narrative depth and those sort of things on top. All right, now we get to make the rocket. So we can read the recipe. We have to at least check that. Oh, hang on. So what we can see is there's 3 different tiers with 4 tablespoons of something in the middle. Put coconut layers as far away from each other as possible. So our coconut layers are these orangey ones. And then 1, 2, back to the coconut, and then back to the putu again. Water in the bottom. And here we go, we'll get this thing cherry ripe. There's a trophy for it not falling. Sorry, for it falling over, I should say. So, go and fail it on purpose if you like. You'll start the whole process again, so you don't kind of, yeah. And that's a little section of Venba. The game is out today, the 31st of July, and I hope you enjoyed what you've seen. We're going to get a little bit of discussion here between the two parents, and again the heavy burden that they're carrying and the challenge that they face start to rear their head in a lot of these conversational moments. But Venba is a really fantastic title. Light on for mechanics. It's a very, very simple game, and those cooking ones kind of fade a little bit as the game progresses. It starts to hold your hand a lot more, which is a little bit disappointing in that sense. But it's a really, really cool story. It doesn't overstay its welcome. You'll be done in less than 2 hours. It's a fantastic game and definitely worth checking out. And I thank Pop Agenda very much for providing me a code so that I can do so. If you enjoyed this episode of Player 2 Plays, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons are down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes Patched, Player 2 Plays, Gamer School, and a whole bunch more. Visit the website player2.net.au for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series Patched, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au. Kick it a few bucks. Lower tiers, early access to episodes. Higher tiers, monthly episode exclusives. And finally, there's Twitter. You find me at Paul James Games. The website, you find a Player2au. And until next time, that was Venba. I hope you enjoyed what you saw of it. It's a fantastic title. Definitely worth checking out. And the game is out on the 31st. So go get your hands on it when you can. Thank you again to Pop Agenda. Thank you to Visaya Games for putting it together. It's a fantastic title. Really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.